What's up, everyone? I'd like to welcome you to the, in my opinion, NBA Kickoff show for the 23-24 season. We have sports guy, Bobby. We have Rope, Jay I know, Simpson, and of course K Rouse here. So some of the topics we want to talk on tonight, we got a lot of intriguing storylines coming up this year for the NBA. Is Denver going to be able to repeat as NBA champions? Who's going to be the top contenders coming out the West? Did the moves that Boston and Milwaukee made put them ahead of the pack? We're looking at those two being the two teams that are going to fight for the East this year. What the hell is going on with the Sixers and James Harden? What rookie outside of Wemby is going to come take the lead by storm? Right now, looking at Wemby, like the next generation of talent, young phenom, but we also got some young wolves in Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, and others that want the opportunity to go and see what they can do. We got some coaches that changed over the off season as well. That Nick Nurse in Philly. You got Monty Williams in Detroit. Is he going to be able to turn that historic program back around to a contender? Frank Vogel in Phoenix. They got a new big three. And the big news of the off season, Lillard shouldn't not making it to the Heat. Now he with the Bucks, so got Giannis just signed for the bag. And we got a lot to discuss. So I'd like to go ahead and throw this topic out first. Who y'all think is going to contend with Denver coming out the West?
I'll go first, man. I'm not going to say it just because I'm a Laker fan, but the Lakers, man. I mean, they made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. They got swept, but all the games were pretty close. I think it was a pretty close margin of defeat. I can't remember the exact number, but I got to go with my Lakers, man. And hats off to Pelinka. He did a great job in the offseason. The team is deep, man. I mean, it's probably one of the deepest teams LBJ has had in a while. Yes, unless you go back to the 2020 team. But, man, we got Jackson Hayes coming off the bench. I'm excited to see him, big man that can finally bang with Jokic a little bit. Christian Wood, I like Christian Wood. I like his offense, but the question for me is he going to play defense? Because that's what we're going to need him to do. We're going to need him to play defense. It's pretty self-explanatory with Gabe Vincent. We saw him in the finals. Torian Prince is going to be starting now. A great 3-and-D player. He plays solid D. He can shoot the three ball. My question for him and some others, man, seems like players that shoot the three ball pretty good, they come to LA and all of a sudden they can't shoot anymore. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And we're just gonna see if Darvin Ham can coach this squad. But I like them being in the I like them having a training camp together with the new additions like Russell, Vanderbilt coming. They totally changed the team around. And I like the attitude that D'Lo is bringing this year. He said he don't want to be taken out of games in the playoffs because he's a liability, because he can't play defense. And that's one of the things he's been working on this offseason. And that's the mentality we need to go where I think they're going to go. So my Lakers and, of course, the Suns, but somebody else can touch on that.
Yeah, definitely the Lakers, Phoenix, of course, Denver, and possibly Golden State. I think Golden State probably done ran their course as far as winning the championship. Players up there in age, they never address the center position. When you got, good centers in the West, you're not stopping Jokic with that roster. Who's going to guard it? And then the underrated pickup for me was Nurkic in Phoenix. So, he's going to be the one banging, doing all the dirty work while KD, Booker, and Bradley Beal is lighting it up. So, I really kind of like that team that Phoenix put together. But, they do have to go out there and play. On paper, they look good, but, they got to play. And then the other part is, is AD gonna take that step? LeBron said it's his team now, and he really needs to go out there and be a force, and be the number one option, on a Lakers team. They got a lot of team, but their team, only going to go as far as AD. So
I agree with you 100% on that, bro.
I think far as other teams, the Clippers, I feel like they're gonna be the Clippers, man. They're every year, they talented to do something and never do anything. So then I don't know about that whole Luca and Kyrie fit. It's probably gonna take a little bit more, than them two for Dallas to even win. So, the top three got to go with Lakers, Denver, and Phoenix.
Hey, I'll contribute this right here. I will never count Golden State out as long as they have their core, Steph and Draymond. I know Draymond's probably battling with some injuries leading into the season, whatnot, and Klay Thompson. Man, that three right there is, I mean, you really have to play your best at all times to beat them. And we're talking about a 7-game series, man. Like, to me, I still can't write them off as much as I want to. But obviously, I have a Lakers hat on, and I'm rooting for the Lakers to regain dominance. There we go, bro. But looking at it like this, man, this is the year for AD. Touching on what Sports Guy is saying, and that's my focus on as far as the Lakers. AD has to want it. He said he wants to play all 82 games, and let's see if you can put the money on the table and cash that in. So I'm ranking it like this. I'm gonna have the Lakers. I'm gonna have obviously the defending champs, Denver. I mean, you just for the fact that you have the Joker on there, and he's gonna probably win another MVP this year. He probably should have won it last year. K. Rouse, you can debate that as much as you want to, but statistically and what he did for that team, I just find that, how can you deny him when you can't deny him on the court? So I'm just to keep it short, I'm gonna rank it Lakers, Denver, Golden State, and Phoenix. I just think Phoenix, KD. I mean, he has to show that he's a true leader, and despite what adversity that their team may face this year or any team, KD just, I don't see him leading that team, even though they're pretty stacked on paper, as Sports Guy mentioned. But that's my rankings. It's going to be Lakers, Denver, Golden State, and Phoenix.
All right. What you got, Samson?
All right. Well, as a 49ers fan, I'm going to have to go with the same team. And I still follow Golden State. I'm going to pick experience and heart over everything. I kind of question the Lakers, the heart behind it. And the only reason why I say because there's a bunch of crybabies on that team. It's nothing personal. But I'm just looking at things happen last year. Now, if you playing Monday and you get tapped on the air and you turn into a paraplegic and have to get rolled out the gym, but you ready to suit up and play on Thursday, I question your heart. All this Anthony Davis, I want to play 82 games, man, you don't have, the heart is not there. LeBron, still arguably one of the best in the league. He's getting old. He's going to go down that road that I hate to see, but MJ, when he got old, MJ was looking clueless like Shaggy and Scooby before a commercial break when he got old. And I was like, look, man, just let it go. When you put that 45 on, something just changed. And, all talk is good right now. Beginning of the season, everybody 0-0. All it takes is a little locker room turmoil and people in their feelings. So I'm still going to have to ride with Golden State. Look, man, don't count out the silver foxes. That's wisdom. That's experience. So I'm still riding with Golden State. I'm curious to see what Phoenix going to do with a whole year under Kevin Durant, but I don't see nothing much happening. There will never be a single person beat a full team in the NBA, and it won't happen this year either. So if I'm going to take my pick, it's going to be Golden State, and I'm going to say the Lakers behind them.
And you know what, Samson, I'll add to that for that Golden State, and that's why I put Golden State where I put them. You got rid of your distraction, Jordan Poole. He's out there. Then you got Jonathan Kuminga. I think he's going to have a breakout year. The boy is athletic, probably the most athletic 2-3 in the league, and I think we're really going to see him, jump on the scene and do something for Golden State. And that's why I say Golden State, you can't count them out. You have the big three, and then you add in the young talent around them. They're going to be a tough team, a tough out
Big
for
three.
anybody. Well, hey man, we can call it what they want. Look at the track record. I mean, big three
they got rings.
It's your perspective. You know what I'm saying? But you can't count a 4-time champion out when they can still suit up.
So sports guy, you saying they're done?
Yeah, they done, man. That hole is going to be in the middle. I mean, I don't care how many 3-pointers you shoot or whatever the case may be. When it comes down to the playoff basketball, the physicality of the game, they're gonna get on those shooters.
So I'm gonna challenge you on that.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to rebound. You're gonna have to get physical. And also you got Clay and Steph. Outside of Clay and Steph, who do you have to rely on scoring?
Okay.
I mean, you could say Wiggins a little, but really Clay and Steph is your 1-2 that you're gonna have to rely on for scoring. They're getting up there in age. You're gonna need somebody else to take that they take on some of that score. Can't keep putting a lot on them and expect to win championship.
Well, who's been that game changer center that the Warriors have had during their championship run?
Well, that's in the past. We're talking about this year.
But we can say the two top teams that were named to go up got age on their side or on the wrong side of age. We're talking about LeBron never got hurt. No, and every time he turned around, he was down for 3 games, down for 4 games.
Well, Denver's in their prime when you think.
Well, you're talking about Phoenix, because that's the next question. I hear all this talk about Lakers, hear all this talk about Phoenix, Golden State even, but Denver, in my opinion, are they getting the respect they deserve? Are they on the brink of a dynasty, or was that one and done?
I don't think they're a dynasty, but then I also I wouldn't necessarily say they one and done. Only reason I say that, man, it's to me, it's hard to have a dynasty coming up, man. I mean, they have Joker, man, but I don't know how many other superstars they have. I mean, you had Steph, you had Clay, you got the team, but I don't know.
Jamal Murray
is nice. Jamal Murray is nice.
I don't think you need more than one true superstar, though.
Just give me a well-oiled machine versus 2 superstars. And sports guy, you said it's over for Golden State. I remember somebody having some criticism on Victor on his first game. Yeah, man, I don't know about the youngster. I don't know about him.
I don't know about him either, so I'm right there behind you. But I stand on it.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah. What I'm saying is let's just state the facts. Don't call them guys old, and we hadn't even laced up the Converse yet.
K. Riles, I know you got more questions. I just want to say this last thing about Golden State. They'll be there. My only question for them is like, what is Chris Paul going to do? And he's shown time and time again that when it comes to those big moments in the playoffs, he probably going to be hurt most times. That's what history has been showing. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen this year. I think that'll be an X factor too for them.
But what was Golden State's biggest Achilles heel last year, though? They got somebody on the team. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Poole, but he made piss poor decisions. Now you got a true flow general in Chris Paul, who's known for making great decisions. I think on defense, they're going to struggle with him. But offensively, you don't think he's going to make life that much easier for Steph?
Well, that team was doomed anyway after Draymond punched him and it won the dress. Now, they can say what they want to, but that'll linger the whole year, man.
Hey, man, I just look at it. The distraction is gone, even though they losing a very powerful offensive force in Jordan Poole. I mean, the dude can put up numbers. He can light it up with the best of anybody in the league right now. But that distraction, to your point, Rope, is out the way now, and that's going to lead. I think that's going to be a rejuvenating thing for that team. Although I'm still LA all day, but who else in the West that we can kind of nitpick at? The Clippers. Is the Clippers going to do something? Is the Claw and
We
Can't
hit
stay healthy.
once.
Can't stay healthy.
I don't think about him staying healthy. I think he just don't want to play. I think he just wants to get by, earn his checks, you know. And that goes back to Sampson's statement. Heart, man, you don't have the heart. Everybody playing with some kind of nagging injury, right?
He loved load management. He said he
was the inventor of load management.
Yeah.
So that's a great point for that.
And we can rule out the Grizzlies, right? Since we talking about the West, or you think is Ja gonna be suspended anytime?
Well, look at this. He spent 25 games, but then you also got, you got the bonehead going to Dylan Brooks. You replace him with Marcus Smart.
Stephen
back to the
Adams
heart. You got players on there, stepping up every year. I think that's probably your most overachieving team year in, year out. But they always a couple of years been like top 3 seed in the West. So can't write them off. I mean, if Ja get his head together, and a couple of their players stay healthy, and continue to improve, hey, put them up there. I mean, don't they got defensive player of the year on their team?
Yeah, but look, we know Grizzlies not beating the Lakers, Denver, or Phoenix in the playoff. So you might as well just say, hey, it sounds good, but they ain't beating them teams.
Now, in regards to Phoenix, last thing on the West, in regards to Phoenix, they went all out. Gotta give them credit for the moves they made, especially how they made sure they got depth. If KD doesn't win with this team, does that hurt his legacy?
He hurt his legacy when we went to Golden State to win his rings. His legacy been tarnished, in my opinion. Ever since that movie went from a team that was one win away from the NBA Finals, and you jump to that team, there's no coming back for me. I mean, you can't wash that stain out. He has forever tarnished his legacy, in my opinion. He's a great baller. I mean, hey, but you've never done it on your own. You had opportunity in Brooklyn, and you couldn't get that done. I mean, what more is there to say about KD?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it tarnishes his legacy, man. He just because KD, man,
KD, he will, man. If there's one player who has defined, I don't give a fuck about what you think about me.
That's what I was about to say, man.
He don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
So
that's good for him.
Yeah. So I'm saying, so at the end of the day, even as the celebrities we are, we don't care about what people think of us either. We do what's best for us. So you think about somebody on his large scale, if he's like, man, let me just go get this ring, he was doing what he wanted to do. So legacies, yeah, they sound great, but at the end of the day, if I'm a basketball player, I'm gonna get my bag and then I'm gonna get me some jewelry.
I can dig that, man. But at the end of the day, man, I come from the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant mind state, bro. Like, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna get it on my own. And I'm not running to I'm not running to nobody's team, bro. That's like me. That's me and sports guy, and Sampson saying, yo, K Rouse, Rope, and Lavelle. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep running to sports guy and Sampson. That to me, we have an advantage, I would think, right?
What was that?
I just use a quick little analogy,
You did an analogy.
I had to throw you guys into that.
We'll give y'all that work, but anyway.
Right. But I mean, come on, man. Let's be real, Samson. Come on, you always talking about heart. Like that to me, that was the most heartless thing. I mean, hey, like you said, he was all about his, getting his jewelry. He knew that with him joining that team, that nobody could beat them, right? Cool, I get it. You got your ring.
If you join a team and give it your all.
Well, I mean, I look at it from a competitive standpoint. In my opinion, there shouldn't be no super teams. There's how many teams in the league and how many true superstars? Each superstar have their own team, and then let the GMs build it around them. And that's the Jordan. That's the Jordan thing.
Draft because people are going to pick their teams.
Yeah.
So you saying if I'm up to pick, and there's Michael Jordan waiting, I'm gonna go with Sam Bowie.
No, but you heard what I said. I said let the GMs pick. So we already got the established superstars, right? So what they've been doing for the past decade or more is what? Joining forces. They've been colluding but in the background saying, hey, me and you play together, boom, boom, boom. That's throwing the GM out of the picture. The GM just has to finalize the deal. But what I'm saying is Jordan didn't ask for anybody to come join him, and he didn't try to go join anybody. Same with Kobe. Kobe might have been bitching about, the roster that has been assembled around him, as you can see towards the twilight days of his years. But guess what? He wasn't running to nobody's team.
But they have made it a diva league to where LeBron feels he can come out with the laundry list and say, get this person and get this person. I want this person off my team, and he actually has input on it. Back in the day, look, owners said what they had to say, and that was it. You played or you gone. Now it's, across the board with different sports. If you want me, I got a list of 3 you need to get to. And that goes for any of the, Lakers, Golden State, whomever. I know it's a bunch of talk in the background. I want you to try to get this person. He'll make us better. And, that stuff is being heard. And now these owners are scared. If we don't make such and such happy, they ain't coming here. Or they going to stay here unhappy. They've given these players too much power. And if I'm cutting the checks, you don't have no power, no say so over what I'm doing with my team. Now, I may hear you, but you're not going to come to me with no sticky note with 3 names on it and tell me to go get them.
Hey,
but you got sports guy.
I mean, the only player, you really think about it, man. All these teams who has won a championship really without another superstar or somebody. I mean, they all do. The only player I can really think of is probably Dwayne Wade. When he had Shaq, whatever the case may be. I don't really know anybody else was on that team like that. He pretty much carried that team, to win the championship. But for the most part, man, these players, one way or another, playing with 1 or 2 other superstars.
Well, you know what, sports guy, I'll add to that. Giannis did it a couple years back with that Milwaukee squad. Who name a superstar on that team that he
Man, Chris Middleton ain't no slouch.
But he's not a superstar. And look at Chris Middleton now. You know what I'm saying? He's damn near washed up. He can't stay healthy. I mean, he's from my hometown, so I mean, I give him big kudos, man. But that team, he was coming to himself. I mean, he was coming, getting on the scene, but he wasn't no superstar at the time, in my opinion. I mean, but that team, name 5 people on that team.
Right. I'll give you that.
A perfect segue. Milwaukee, all off season. Speaking of players trying to force their way, it was thought Lillard wanting to go to Miami or bust. He even had, allegedly telling his agent, tell teams, hey, you pick me up, I'm not going to stay with you. Now, doesn't end up with the Heat. He's with the before mentioned Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Does that make Milwaukee a super team? And does that make them the top contender in the East?
I don't think so. Actually, I feel like Drew Holiday, I think they'll miss him more. Damian Lillard gonna put the ball in the hoop. Milwaukee didn't have problems scoring the basketball, man. They didn't have problems scoring the basketball. So now it did 2 things. They got rid of Drew Holiday. It made them weaker on defense. Not only did it make them weaker, he went to Boston. So guess what? That made Boston a lot better, man.
Quick question on that. Who was Drew Holiday locking down?
He locked down.
Who was he locking down? I think in the NBA, we give these cats way too much credit for defense, bro. Like, you got to check the stats. Give me some metrics saying Drew Holiday really is a lockdown somebody defender. Like, who is, bro? To me, that's an overstatement for that cat, man. Like, there's nobody in the NBA really play true defense, man. Like, they don't guard anybody.
Well, he's one of the few that actually play defense.
He might put his hands out, might get a steal here and there, but he's not stopping anybody. We got to get some metrics and see how many people put.
He made some clutch plays in that finals against the Suns.
Oh, so we talking clutch plays, or we talking about true defense?
I'm talking about clutch plays to help them win the championship.
Well, clutch plays, okay.
So Jay, I know you saying
Robert already got 7 rings for clutch plays. I guess we can give that some merit then.
So you saying Milwaukee is better than Boston?
Boston has no heart. They have no heart. They have shown they have no heart. You know, so their problem is they want to compete. Brown and what's his name want to compete to see who got the biggest stick. You know what I'm saying? And that's their Achilles heel right there. You know what I'm saying? If one come down and shoot, the other one gonna come down and shoot 3 times in a row, and they just gonna go play that tennis game right there.
Hey, we don't glorify sex on this show.
That's your interpretation.
It's a 2-team race between Boston and Milwaukee, if you ask me. And I think Boston has the better team at this point, at least on paper, as sports guy uses, at least on paper.
So you killing my man Dame Lillard, one of the most prolific scorers.
I'm not killing him. I said they scored. They scored a lot of points.
You basically saying I wouldn't give up J. Rule Holiday for Dame.
I didn't say that. I said
that's how it came across.
I said they got weaker on defense. They never had problems scoring, man.
Great offense can cure that.
Okay,
we've seen that.
But they got great team defense though. When you said that,
who, Milwaukee?
Yeah, I mean you got. I think Lopez.
Blocks, didn't he?
Exactly. You got Giannis still. You know, I think Giannis needs to step up and guard the team's best player.
What we talking about in the NBA? Guarding perimeter players, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what happened when he didn't guard Jimmy?
That's what I'm saying. You got a perimeter. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, go ahead.
I'm with Jay. I know when it comes to defense in the NBA, man, them teams really don't play defense. It really comes down to making stops. Who can make the stops? You know, far as stopping someone, you know, shutting them down, I don't think that exists no more in the NBA. So
you can't stop them, but you have to make them work for buckets.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Well, I mean, sports guy credit. They talk a lot about Iguodala's performance on LeBron in the finals. LeBron still averaged what? Damn near 40 points.
Exactly.
But yet they keep bragging about, oh yeah, you give LeBron all the time.
Even though I think Steph should have won that MVP, but y'all go ahead, Eastern Conference.
Nah, this case in point though, you know, to sports guy and Jay, I know's point. Yeah, you know, defense may be a little overrated, but I do think the heart comment means a lot. You know, you got a Boston team that on paper has had the best team because they got 2, all-stars, 2 borderline bona fide superstars. You know, if Brown has a consistent night, they went out and got Porzingis. They got Drew. You know how I feel about Drew. So I think Boston, unfortunately for me, is going to be the best team in the East. But at the same time, we got a dog down there in South Beach.
You can, man.
We can wipe that slate clean, bro.
We got a dog last year. Y'all keep discounting every year. Every year.
Emo boy do with
Butler. He had his chance. He did good last year. But when he went up against Denver, then showed that the team wasn't strong enough. And then when you look at this year, did they add to that team?
No. Lost.
They're too busy trying to pursue one player.
What did they sign? Did they sign anybody?
I don't think so. So you can't.
His favorite player, Max Strus.
They didn't at all. And as y'all have noticed yet, one team that we are omitting from the conversation are my beloved Philadelphia 76ers because we are currently being held hostage by one and only James Harden. I don't understand how this continues to happen. Where you got one player that come in and hijack an entire team. We went through this with Ben Simmons. We ain't learned nothing. Now we're going through this again with James Harden, and we ain't learned nothing. As a diehard Sixers fan, I would like to say that I cannot stand Daryl Morey currently. I cannot stand Elton Brand currently. And as far as I'm concerned, if Embiid would have come out, asked for a trade tomorrow, I would applaud that move and would support him fully. So the Sixers are not contenders. I do not consider them as being a top 3 or even a top 7 team in the East right now. We'd not be surprised if we're competing for a play-in. And unfortunately, we're going to be sitting back and watching Boston go to another finals, in my opinion.
Well, I think go ahead, sports guy.
Yeah, that move was to win right then. It wasn't that move wasn't made to win a championship 2 or 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
So when Philadelphia didn't win when they made the move, that was pretty much it. So to be honest with you, if they could trade Harden, I would, but it doesn't look like anybody want Harden. So
Yeah,
why did Harden, K-Ross, you the Sixers fan? If Harden didn't want to be there, like, who's lying? Why did he even opt in then? Did he believe they was going to trade him? Did he believe he was going to get what was going on?
You know, the thing that I'm putting this squarely on Daryl Morey, honestly. When Harden pulled this stunt down in Houston, guess who was down there? Daryl Morey. So it's like, you know, if you go mess with a chick and the chick do you wrong, then you go away from the chick for a while, but you still got eyes on her, then you get back to her, she do you wrong again. That's your fault. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, he's gonna do it anyway. He in love with Harden, he in love with little baby must be. And he continue to go ahead and do this nonsense. And you know, it's destroying our team. I mean, we got a young upcoming star in Tyrese Maxey. We're trying to figure out, you know, how Nick Nurse is going to use Embiid, how he's going to use, you know, Tobias Harris and some of the other pieces that we have. But, you know, we've been jinxed from jump. I remember the day, time, and where I was at when we traded Drew Holiday as far as trust the process. We've been trusting this damn process for way too damn long. We passed on Jason Tatum. We had Mikal Bridges and traded him. So I don't know what the hell this team doing. And unfortunately, our major rival, which is the Boston Celtics, how many times did they made it to the conference championship? How many times did they made it to the NBA Finals? So as far as I'm concerned, screw the Sixers.
What move you didn't mention, and I think this is the thing that did them in, when they picked everybody else over Jimmy Butler.
Facts.
They had Jimmy
Butler, the dog in the building.
I don't know. Did Jimmy really want to be there? I don't know.
He did.
Yeah, they paid
Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler.
Because he wanted to be there.
He wanted to be there. Well, guess what? Guess who he's going to recruit down to Miami?
Well, here's what y'all need not to do. Get any more left-handed people on y'all team. Y'all had Ben Simmons, Harden, and what's the dude that drafted out of Washington? What was his name?
Oh yeah, I know you talking.
Folks. Yeah.
Folks.
That's
over Tatum, by the way.
That's three lefties that just showed it. Y'all need to stay away from lefties. That's what Philly need to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But one thing, K-Ross, before you move on about Harden, how many more times can he pull the same stunt? I mean, and
we can't trade him.
And he's thinking, does he think he gonna go somewhere and get like a max deal?
You think he's gonna be beloved by that team, but the team is gonna be on watch the entire time. Because as soon as this guy, Samson talked about heart, as soon as his feelings get hurt and his heart get broken, what is he gonna do? He's not gonna show up to practice, not gonna show up to games ready to play. He's gonna club all night, probably coming in smelling like Hennessy. Ain't gonna do shit. And the bottom line is that you done seen this act happen several times, but I made a comment before. James Harden, MVP. It changed one rule in the league that he couldn't flop no more. He been mediocre since. That's just a fact.
Well, if they start calling traveling, he probably would go from 25 points to 12 points. You know, it's just
facts.
I mean, I'm still trying to see how people make their assessment on James Harden and saying that I want to bring him on my team. Now, when he was coming off the bench for OKC, you saw that kind of like he had that dog mentality. He had like do anything to help the team win mentality. Once he started growing that beard out, once he became the beard, once he, got away from OKC and became the man, you saw his true character, man. He's all about himself. All he wants to do, hold the ball for 15 seconds, take a step back, dribble, and let the ball go. The ball does not move once it touches his hand. That kills an offense. And we see that in so many different plays. What, Houston, Philly? I mean, if you watch a James Harden game, you know that if you have 30 possessions, 15 of those possessions are going to be a Harden possession, like from start to finish. And it's just a tired way of playing basketball. I could never watch a Harden game at this point, man. Like the dude, I don't know, man. He's just out of my view, and that's why I want to keep him.
So we talk about teams that should run away with the conference, Boston, unfortunately, and Milwaukee. But we also got some teams that show some light. You got a young, up and coming Cleveland Cavaliers team. Seems like they got fill out pretty potentially dangerous roster. You got Brooklyn if Ben Simmons decides that he loves to play basketball again.
Come back
then-
player of the year.
And then you got the
Absolutely
Knicks.
not.
I mean, we got to get the Knicks their credit. You know, they went from being mediocre to mediocre enough to make it to the playoffs. So, you know, you got teams that could make some noise, which I think.
Hey, Knicks ain't got no heart, man. Knicks gonna keep being the Knicks, man. You know, they get in those situations and wet the bed, you know. So I don't know how anybody could trust the Knicks at this point. You know, it's the same story every year. Get to the playoffs, you know, disappoint, you know, superstar disappears. So Knicks, no. But I mean, I think the East is kind of open for them, you know, maybe the last 3 or 4 playoff spots, man. You know, outside of Milwaukee and Boston, then you know it's kind of like up for grabs, you know, in my opinion. You know, I can see Brooklyn, I can see Mikal Bridges taking that next jump. He played good last year. I can see him being an all-star this year. You know, he seems like he's the man, you know, for Brooklyn right now. So and then I think Ben Simmons got something to prove, you know. Yeah, I know, you know, what things been in the past, but hey, I'm just gonna go out on the limb, say Ben Simmons is gonna be that comeback player of the year this year.
Interesting.
And play better, live up to, you know, being, you know, the top pick.
I believe Ben Simmons is going to replace Anthony Davis as being street clothes. What about you, Rope?
One of the teams that I think might get there, at least get into the playoffs, is Sports Guy Bobby's team, man. The Hornets. They always on the course. They always on the cusp, man. But I like getting not a play in, yeah. I mean, because I think like 2 years in a row, then they make it to the play in, and
yeah,
just got
trade on Patrick Beverly. You know, he got playing championship experience.
Yeah, but I like Brandon Miller. I like the young man. Of course, I'm a LaMelo Ball fan. They got your boy Bridges back. Hopefully he can keep his hands to himself. I mean, they got a decent roster. But we'll see. And you mentioned Cleveland, man. I don't know about Cleveland. I like Donovan Mitchell, but it seemed like something missing. And my question is, I don't know if he'll even stay there. I mean, who knows if he even want to be in Cleveland? He got traded there. He had his heart on going home to the Knicks.
Yeah, I know what you know.
I don't know anything about none of these other teams that we even trying to talk about, man. I'm trying to look on here and see what the roster looks like, man. I mean, yeah, you got ice cold Trey and all that, you know, but I can't give you no insight. I can't give no input about these other teams in the East, man. I mean, you know, you got Spider there in Cleveland. He's been making some noise. I mean, look, they had a pretty good season last year. But yeah, man. I mean, the Knicks got talent, man. Randall's came into his own with in that roster. I don't know, man. I just don't have the input, the insight to give anything for these other teams, man. And I'll be looking forward to learning more about the teams as the season go on. But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to add.
Samson, your Heat the next best one, and invite you to touch with them, mess with them, beat with them.
Hey, I got another one, Detroit.
That's a no. So the East that week.
You gonna say Detroit?
Yeah, they got a lot of young talent in Detroit.
Did his mic break?
Bro, y'all know what time it is.
Willie got 3 contenders there. He lost focus.
It's game time.
We know what he's doing. We know what he's doing.
Samson, I ain't even mad at you. Because the Lakers play tomorrow night at 7:30.
Exactly.
And, you know, we meet back up, you know, I might be like, you know, so it's all good.
Might be a little focus.
Man, it's all good, baby. We don't have to be robotic with it.
Yeah. Go ahead, sports guy. You had Detroit, man.
Yeah, I think they got some young talent, you know, with Cade Cunningham, you know, they got Marvin Bagley, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duran out of the draft, who's like a mini Sean Kemp, you know, he's a nice player. So, and then you got Monty Williams there as a coach, man. I think he can get the best out of them young players. So I look for Detroit to kind of make some noise.
Speaking of that name, Monty Williams, was that a raw deal he got in Phoenix?
Absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
I just want to touch on that real quick.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy is an outstanding coach from what we've seen.
I do what they say about him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Detroit is definitely going to turn the corner. I even look at a team like Orlando. At one point, when's Orlando going to, are they going to be the OKC of the East and just be a bunch of young players who just make the playoffs then lose? Or are they going to be a true contender? I'm excited to see that. But speaking of, things we're excited to see, the big name of the draft this past year to sports guy was Brandon Miller, but for the rest of the NBA fans, Victor Wembanyama. The sports
guy, he can laugh all he wants. I thought so too. I thought Brandon Miller was that guy, but I'll let you have the floor, sir.
So he's a slam dunk.
He said that we like Brandon Miller, but
yes,
Brandon
Miller. But the question is,
hold on, what's that?
Are we looking at an upset of Rookie of the Year? Are we going to have is Wembanyama going to be a slam dunk for Rookie of the Year, or could we be looking at an upset?
Speak facts, sports guy.
I'm gonna speak facts.
Say with your heart.
Wait till my turn.
So let me go back to Wemby's first game, where I made my comment. Comments was based on what I saw, with the hype coming in and what he showed in summer league. You're expecting someone to come out. I honestly playing like we see him playing now in the summer league, being dominant. Been playing basketball, professional level, at an early age and all those things. So I expected him to come out and dominate summer league. And when he didn't, then it kind of raised like, is this guy overhyped or what? But I would say now,
y'all can't have a bad game around you guys.
Bro, he had one bad game and you trashed him.
I trashed him too.
Like,
I trashed him before.
The youngster ain't ready. Look at him.
I trashed him before he had the game.
This wasn't about one bad game.
Bro,
this was about number one overall pick, generational talent, hyped up, and you come out and play like that against second rounders.
Let me ask you this. At what point probably does nerves play a factor into that? This is his first game, like over here in the States, in the NBA. This is the NBA.
I don't know. Hey, some people get in front of the camera and get stiff and shy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this ain't the France league he was playing in.
Hey, did LeBron play like that?
This ain't LeBron. We're talking about Wembley.
What I'm saying is, when we talk about nerves, these guys been doing it their whole life. They've been playing basketball their whole life. The nerves is gone. You just had no nerves come to playing against.
Some of them guys said they still get nerves on, like, if they make it to a Super Bowl or
hold on, bro.
They still have nerves.
Bro, I'm gonna ask you a legitimate question here, because when we had Brandon Miller's name and Webby name, and you was like here and there, where do you see such of a gap between those two, and why? I'm trying to figure out who has more upside, a 7'4", 220 guy who look like if you barely blow on him, if you barely touch him, he's gonna fall to the tip. Man, I'm sorry. I am very critical of guys of his stature playing on the court, where it just seems like, I don't know, man. He just seems fragile. He seems that his success is going to be based off the league saying we got to make him be successful and people not really competing against this guy. You see what I'm saying? I just don't see it in him. And he got exposed in the leagues he played overseas. Like, dude was getting bodied when he was guarding people in the hole, man. So how you gonna protect him? You're gonna keep him on the perimeter all game, ain't you? How you gonna protect him? How I just don't see this guy being anything more than an overhyped sensation, because he's not a once in a generation talent. Define what is a once in a generation talent. That's what I want to know.
I think with him, it comes about his height, being 7'3", 7'4", with the skills of a guard, slash forward. So I
But we
think
already seen that in KD.
KD
KD
ain't
7-1.
7-4.
I would say this with Wemby. What I've seen lately,
Mm-hmm.
he the real deal.
Did you see? Have you been watching him play?
Hey,
So you impressed?
I want to see him play when it counts, bro. I don't look at that BS
Hey,
when it don't
hey,
count.
that
I want to see
man-
when it counts.
hey,
I want to see him game 60 if he's on the court with his fragile self. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at him, man. I'm not giving him no hype.
20 and 10 in rookie season.
If he ain't that man behind you, sports guy, I ain't giving you no pass, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're saying that so what's realistic for Wemby? Does Wemby need to come in? Because you know what the hype is about. We never seen anything like him before. I know you said KD, but have we seen a foreign player
who can handle the rock?
Have we seen a foreign player come up with this much hype though? Like maybe because Luka really didn't have that much hype. He was
You
foreign.
can go back to Dirk. You can go back to
Like that, though.
not Dirk, but you can go back to what's the guy that played with the Bulls, man? You can go back to Kukoc.
Remember,
Hey.
he used to come over.
But I'm saying he had the most hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at the time he did. He
But
did.
with Wemby, you got to really think about too what we ain't talked about, his defense, man. You're not coming inside there because he's gonna swat it right back to the free throw line, 3-point line. So
We saw that.
You know what's going to take? You know what it's going to take, sports guy? It's going to take one of them guards that come down that lane like a Westbrook style and take his heart, eat his lunch, and then we're going to see what he got to offer after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Can he
every
take the
guard
physicality of
in the
the
league, 2 and 3, got bounced that will embarrass you at that rim.
the only person I can see embarrass him, and that's Giannis, because he played with so much power, in his length and stuff like that. Now I can see Giannis doing it.
Yeah.
Now some of the rest of them guys, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and do some research on that. But
We don't want to get physical.
He's too slow, man. He moves slow, man. Like I just don't get hype on
What
somebody.
position they gonna have him playing on the floor?
3. That's the best way to
They
protect him.
already got a big man. Don't they have Jakob Pertl? I think.
Yeah.
Pertl got traded last year.
No, they got him back.
Did
I
he?
thought.
I know they got Zach Collins.
Sports guy?
Yeah, I know they got Zach Collins. Just
I thought they re-signed Pertl.
yeah, I had to look that up. I thought Pertl was still on the team.
Yeah, they re-signed him in the offseason or
Yeah.
something like that. Some type of way they got him. I'm gonna check.
All right, so I'm very critical on what's his name again?
Wemby.
Yeah, Wemby, yeah.
Hey, but to answer your
I'm
question,
very critical on that dude. Just like I was
I
critical
was
on
just
Zion.
doing this when I was talking about Brandon Miller because I actually like Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ro, what about Miller? You like?
Hey man, hey, I seen the way that dude attacked the rim. And he can knock down some shots too. He can knock down some threes, but I forgot what it was in preseason when he just went through and yammed on somebody. Who was it, sports guy? You a Hornets fan. You watch it more than I do. But it was somebody he just yammed on. And
I drew a blank when you said that. But yeah, Brandon Miller, he's a fearless player. He got a high basketball IQ. He can shoot the three. He can play the mid range. Get his team, his other teammates involved in the game. So he's an all around player. So once he get accustomed to the NBA game, I think he's going to be a multi all-star type player for the Hornets.
I'll co-sign that. I like his potential, man. I saw when I first saw him in college, man. I was like, yeah, this kid, he has an NBA game. The NBA game and the college game is totally different. And if you can shine on the collegiate level, and your game is for that open spacing, non-defensive style that the NBA presents you, I think he has many years of being a potential all-star in my book.
So who's going to have a better career in your opinion, Wemby or?
I think Miller just and I want success for everybody. I'm just critical because I don't like people being hyped up so much. I truly don't. I mean, LeBron to me should have been the last person with so much hype coming into the league. I mean, that's just how I'm looking at it. And I don't see him nowhere near the potential player that LeBron was at the same time in their careers. But hey, prove me wrong. But I'm not getting hype on overseas stuff. I'm not getting hype over summer league stuff. I'm not getting hype over preseason stuff. You got to show me during the 82 games, if you really built for what they're saying. And that's just how I look at it. That's just how I look at basketball, man. I mean,
I was wrong, K. Rouse. I'm sorry, sports guy.
Oh, you good?
Live on the Raptors. I was wrong. You was right on that one. I was thinking about Collins, and you said his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, sports guy.
It's all good.
I'm gonna take it a different take when it comes to those two and who have the better career and so forth. And I'm gonna go with Brandon Miller, and I'm gonna go with Brandon Miller just because. And I'm just gonna say, hypothetically speaking or thinking, if he have a lot of success, just say for instance, I don't know, Charlotte go to the playoffs, 5 or 6 times or whatever the case would be, or he get them a championship. We don't have no history in Charlotte. San Antonio got a lot of history of winning. So I think he has an opportunity to take a team pretty much from the basement, and win with them. And I think that would do more for his legacy, versus if Wemby do it with San Antonio.
Do you think Brandon Miller is the guy, or will LaMelo Ball be the guy still?
That's a tough one. I got to go with LaMelo. He's the floor general. He's the leader of the team. He can score, get his teammates involved, stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to go with LaMelo right now. But it's gonna be a nice duo.
Yeah, real nice. In my opinion, I'm going with Miller right now just because I'm looking at what he's doing on the defensive end. I mean, I know that he considered himself as Paul George is his idol and personally looks up to, but I see some T-Mac in him. And McGrady was that player, his younger days who could lock you down. Then once he developed that jumper, he was deadly. And I could definitely see that being Brandon Miller in a couple of years. Also, on the sports guy's point, if he could come in and turn Charlotte into a contender, then that'd be amazing because, we need teams. One thing I like about the NBA the past couple of years, we're seeing more parity. You got a Denver team that won a chip, First, I think it was the first team outside of California or Texas that won the chip from the West in years.
Yeah,
we had Toronto a couple of years ago. So it's great to see parity and see teams coming up. Being contenders. So it'd be nice to see Charlotte, Orlando, New Orleans. If Zion decides that he's going to get his mind off of porn stars and play some ball.
OKC, man. You mentioned them. OKC. Them young boys coming too, man.
Yeah.
One team that we didn't talk about, we talk about overhyped bigs, foreign bigs, got Rudy Gobert. How many times he won Defensive Player of the Year? Was supposed to be that missing piece. You got Carlton Towns saying that it was bigger for them to win the playing game championship than it was for the Denver Nuggets to win the NBA championship. So how long will it be before Anthony Edwards acts out?
You know what? They're gonna have to make decisions on that team. I think it's been a lot of speculation that Cat was gonna be the one to get traded, right? Yeah. They've been talking about trading him forever. I think if it came down to the two, they're gonna keep Anthony Edwards, man. Anthony Edwards got that dog in him, bro.
Yes, sir.
Got that dog in him.
Wait, didn't he lead the Olympic team this summer?
But I mean, I'm just saying he got that dog in him, man.
He got it.
Yeah, he just signed that extension.
Yeah, did he?
I think he signed that extension.
They are loyalty.
Yeah.
Hold up. Wasn't Jimmy Buckets on that team? But maybe not with Anthony Edwards.
I mean, I sad to say it, but it seems to me, just based off of comments and also based off, like you said, Jimmy left. We really don't see a parity between him and Edwards. I think Cat's the problem. I don't see a guy. We mentioned Hart throughout this whole segment. Does he have the heart? Does he have the commitment to be great? I mean, he got all the tools in the world. But every time you hear an interview, especially when they lose, it's almost like, okay, he really don't care. He just happy that he, got the chance, I guess, to play the game. But do we see that passion? Do we see that leadership in Karl Anthony Towns that could propel Minnesota, at least to out of the second round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good fit, man.
He needs somebody to push him. You know.
Yeah, Pat Bills.
He couldn't handle Jimmy buckets, man. I mean, you look at that said Ben Simmons couldn't handle him either.
Yeah.
And look at you compare those guys to Jimmy Butler, what he's accomplished versus what they accomplished.
Exactly. So is Jimmy Butler a superstar?
Jimmy Butler is very good. Very good.
He's doing superstar things, coming out as an emo and all these different things. But is he really truly? He's shown superstar qualities, right? But I don't think he's been consistent. His career has
been on has improved.
True.
Can't say that.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I would say he is, man. You know, he's a self-made superstar, man.
Yeah.
You gotta like the players that come in and work hard and grind and build their game up to what his game has been built up to. And that's all through hard work and what he put into it. So I give him credit for that.
I'll say this. He takes his game to another level in the big moments, like the playoffs and stuff. Playoff Jimmy is totally different from regular season Jimmy.
Definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. All right. So final topic of the night before we close this out. You know, we talked about the intriguing storylines, all the changes, but one thing that we didn't talk about is, and maybe too early to call it, but people do it, so let's do it. Who's gonna win the chip this year?
I guess I'll go first then. So
I was gonna go by the towel. You know,
all right,
you know,
so
They
we about to take it back. We about to take it back. Lakers versus Celtics, man. The first to 18. One of those teams gonna win number 18.
I like that. I like that.
It's gonna be the Lake Show, baby. And for my boy Mamba, gonna do it. Yeah.
That's good. You got wishing there, Jersey, because you wishing. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take half of that in Lakers, and I think I want to say Milwaukee. I don't know why I want to, but I think Dame is gonna come down there and show, you know, what time it is. Dame time, baby.
Man, you know, the East, any, many, mighty, mo. Hey, just whoever. It can go anyway. But you know, and really, I kind of feel like that in the West too, you know.
Yeah.
But until somebody beat the champs, I'm gonna go with Denver.
Okay.
And who
And
else?
the same as well.
Said anybody else, right? Come on, man. You gotta make a pick, man.
He just said Denver.
Who else? Anybody, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Denver and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the simple fact that, like Jay, I know say, you know, Boston, you know, they lacking that heart, man, you know, and they trying to one up each other, you know, with Brown and Tatum. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Milwaukee.
You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb. It's sad you got to say this out on a limb because they're the defending champs. I think Denver's gonna repeat. I think that you know, looking at a team with a healthy Jamal Murray has proven that they're very tough out. And like you keep saying, who can stop the Joker? That's a great 1-2 combination. I think that, you know, we're seeing Aaron Gordon, you know, really feel his role. I know that losing Bruce Brown going to be a huge loss for them. And also, my biggest X factor is always Michael Porter Jr. If Michael Porter Jr. can come in, have his head straight, contribute, and not try to be what he's not, and actually contribute and do his role, then I can see Denver as being a very tough team to beat. I think Denver will go up against Boston, and I think I got Denver in 6. So
I have no argument with those picks, man.
Well, that was
we shall see.
It's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a very interesting season, man.
I'm gonna tune in. There's a lot of
tomorrow night.
There's a lot of reason to tune in. You know, Webby being number one for me, and seeing Zion. I want to see Zion come back and be what everybody thought he was going to be by this time. He's going in his 3rd, 4th year now.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's shown highlights, kind of like the Bo Jackson, right? We seen highlights. We seen the star in him, but he just hasn't been able to put it all together on the floor. So I'm anxious to see Zion do some damage in the league, man.
What's the main thing you're looking forward to rope besides the Lakers?
Man, honestly, man, like I say, just some good basketball. I think I text y'all one time and I said, hey, I think like the NBA League Pass is like $50 on Black Friday. If it drops to $50, I'm getting it, man, because I want to watch Wemby, man, and just watching his highlights, man, is just like had me pumped, man. I think I'll send it to y'all boys. I'm like, man, this is just nasty, man. Nobody this side should be moving like that, man. You know, you see somebody get the ball 7-4 across somebody up, then shoot like a fadeaway from the free throw line, damn near out to the 3-point line, and just swishing all nets, man. That's crazy, man. But you know, I love NBA, so.
Hey, bro, real quick before sports guy get his. So that's that league pass for $50. How many users can? Because I can no. What I'm saying is I can go half on it with you, man. If you can get multiple users on it.
I don't know. I have to look and see how many streams it is.
Yeah. Look and see. You know what I'm saying? I'll go in half.
Big companies cracking down on that.
Hey, until they do, I'll go half on it with you.
Yeah, because I think the one last year they had, when I was reading up on it, I think they say you can only do like one stream at a time.
And they getting smart now. They doing it by your zip code and all that stuff, bro. You like
my YouTube TV is, yep.
Yeah, but yeah, let me know though if you do the research and then you can have multiple streams, man.
Yeah,
I'm interested. Just let me know.
Hey, y'all be watching the game. Watching the game, fourth quarter, tied up. LeBron got the ball, and then one of them TV just go out.
Right. You exceeded the number of streams allowed.
Hey, he trying to log in again and be like, password is not the same.
Hey, give me my money back. This is my money. Mama.
And now, but you know what? I look forward to Charlotte taking that next step. You know, that's my squad. I think we got a squad to compete, you know, get to the playoffs. So I look forward to see them take that next jump.
Absolutely. You know, what I'm looking forward to is I want to see what that next 10 going to be. I know that everybody got their top 3 in the East, top 3 in the West, but I'm looking very forward to seeing, you know, who's that next team that's going to make that progression. I want to see what these young teams to do, you know, OKC, you know, Shea Gillis, you know, you got, you know, players coming back, you know, from injury last year, you know, the top pick, you know, so there's a lot of things that's going on down at OKC. At one point, when they're going to fully become contenders. I mean, they got a very young, talented team. So where to see that go? Like I said before, can New Orleans stay healthy? If they stay healthy, then what can they be? You know, can Zion, when he's healthy, he showed that he's dominant. But when he's healthy is the question. And, you know, just really interested to see how these rookies play out. You know, I know all eyes on Wemby, all eyes on Miller, but, you know, I want to see what Scoop. I want to see, you know, what some of the other rookies do as well, you know. And finally, you know, although it pains me to say this, I want to see LeBron gets MVP this year. You know, I think this is going to be his last true run at that chip. I think that he losing last year in the conference championship game left a nasty taste in his mouth. And I think that LeBron's going to come out on a mission this year. So very excited to see what happens. But either way, you know, we know the NBA is fantastic and we're going to have a lot to look forward to. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. And, hey, you know, ball tips off tomorrow night. Looking forward to a great season. With that being said, we out.
Peace.
Peace.